This is actually my fourth attempt at filming this video. And this usually happens when I step away from the camera for a couple weeks and I try to get back into it. I'm like, well, where the heck do I start? I don't know how to speak anymore. I don't know how to do anything on camera. So here we are. And as you can see by the title of today's video, this is a very fitting topic. I want to talk to you guys about this recent epiphany or concept I learned about living with anxiety, specifically social anxiety, and also embracing it. Before we get into the video, I just want to quickly introduce myself. For those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Bridget, and I am a mindset and confidence coach for introverted women. I also have a free Facebook group that I'm going to be linking down below. For those of you who are on your personal development journey, you want to be more confident and have better relationships, really recommend checking out the group. Also, don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful or useful in any way. Comment below what you want to see more from me, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. So recently I've been reading this book by a psychologist from Boston University. Her name is Ellen Hendrickson. And the title of her book is How to Be Yourself. And at first glance, I was like, wow, that is it's a bold title. And I thought about it, like, can you even teach somebody to be themselves? I mean, for a long time, I really felt like I didn't know myself. I had no idea who I was. And then thinking about it, it wasn't just me who taught myself how to be myself. I think there were a lot of mentors and people who inspired me to do the work to get to know myself. So the book is actually about social anxiety. And I picked it up because I do this a lot when I find myself thinking about my journey and what I can do to better help my clients, to either confirm the beliefs that I have or, construct entirely new beliefs about a particular concept. So I wanted to see what this book was about. I wanted to know what she had to say on the topic, what her clients were doing, and what her journey was like. And within the first 20 pages, she made the statement that really, really confirmed something that I just talked about a few videos back, about when I really felt like I could be confident was when I started to embrace having social anxiety, or general anxiety for that matter. When I made it a part of me, that's when I was able to be myself. Instead of pushing it down, wishing that it would go away, I added it to the plethora of things that made me me. So essentially, she talks about this scenario in which her client comes to her and says, "How do I feel less anxious?" And she blatantly responds, "You feel less anxious by living your life. You will start off by living the life you want with that anxiety, carrying it along with you. And as you do, surprisingly, that anxiety will go away slowly and slowly. So in fact, nothing will change, but everything changes." And I thought that was perfect. Like, it perfectly described what my journey was like. I didn't let go of the anxiety. I didn't get rid of the anxiety. I still have the anxiety. It still shows up here and there. But what I did was did the things I want to become a part of my life. Go out, meet new people, do things alone, take phone calls, give speeches, give presentations, be in crowds. I did those things even though they were uncomfortable. And I carried the anxiety with me. The physical parts, the mental parts, the spiritual parts, the emotional parts, I carried it all. And slowly but surely, some of those things started to dwindle away. I started off by doing the small things, right? Making that phone call, going to the store alone, going to an appointment alone, chatting with a stranger, doing those small things. And I did that for years and years. And I definitely hit plateaus at certain points. And then I sought out different things. I sought out different people, different mentors and books and anything I could grab my hands on. And then one day when I got to doing those big things like giving speeches and making presentations and getting on the phone with strangers every day, I had that realization like, wow, I've come such a long way. Like, how did I even get here? Because just a few years ago, I couldn't even step outside. I couldn't go to class. I couldn't make that phone call, right? I couldn't confront that person in my life. I made the change by learning to carry the anxiety with me, to bring it along for the ride. Essentially, I had to be myself with the anxiety before I could learn to be someone else, before I could be that confident person who had a great group of friends, who could do things alone, who could hold great conversations. In order to become her, I had to be the version of her that did the small things with that bundled up anxiety. Because even that girl who does all those things, she still has anxiety, but just not as much. So that first step of acknowledging that we had to take that anxiety for the ride is part of the whole embracing process. Then once I felt like I was becoming that confident version, and even now when I feel like an even more confident version, I started looking at the things that a social anxiety gives me, and there are a lot of them. For example, I am a very careful thinker. Maybe sometimes too careful because I tend to overthink. But I'm a careful thinker in that I will be considerate of the people I'm around. I'm considerate of what I'm about to say. I'm also really good at remembering things, especially when it comes to people or things about people. I'm also conscientious, which makes me a hard worker. It makes me have a good work ethic. I'm deeply empathetic, maybe to a fault. I will sometimes put others before myself, and that's something I'm working on with setting boundaries and making myself a priority. But I'm grateful that empathy is one of my really strong qualities. I'm also very pro-social, meaning that I'm very positive to other people in my life and super altruistic. And I'm also really, really good at lifting people up, which, makes me good at my work. Obviously, it's very helpful in that. But I really try my best to always go back to these things. There are tons more. But I go back to them and remember that although I struggled tremendously and it made some things really, really hard, and sometimes I wish that in the earlier stages I didn't have it with me, because it's a hard thing to think about when you're young and you wish you had the things that you didn't have. But now that I see all the good things, like the really, really good things, and I wouldn't take it back for a thing. The costs are low, but the benefits are high. I will always remember that. So I know that this video didn't really give any practical advice. I really just wanted this to be a pep talk for you. If you are socially anxious and you are wanting to break free from that, you're just starting out on your journey, or you're feeling like it's just weighing you down. Yes, of course you will have to get to a point where you can embrace it, where it becomes a part of you, but you can still live the life you want. But start out knowing now that eventually you will get to that point, and eventually you will realize that it can be a gift. You can embrace it and live the life you want with it. So thank you so much for watching through the end of this video if you did. Before I go, I just want to quickly remind you guys that slots for my free consult are open. So if you are an introverted woman on your journey, you want to feel more confident and have better relationships in your life, I really urge you to check out the consult. I'm going to leave the link in the description below. So thank you guys so much for watching again. I hope you found this video helpful and useful, and I will see you next time. Bye.